Welcome to the Creative REI podcast, your go-to hub for all things real estate, business, life, travel, etc. I'm your host, Dante, joined by my co-host, Ed, both real estate professionals on a mission to connect and educate. This podcast is sponsored by PropStream, the most trusted provider of comprehensive real estate data nationwide. What's poppin', everybody? It's the Creative REI Experience. I'm your host, Dante Pena. This is Ed, Nava Eddie.
What up, what up?
What's good, what's good? Today's guests, we got our fix and flippers and realtors in San Diego. They combined a total of 330 flips.
We'll go with that.
Oh, we combined it.
There's actually nothing written here. I just make it look like
It's good, yeah. 300 to 3,000, somewhere in that range.
330 flips total combined in 3 years. We have Miss Sarah D.
7 or 8.
How do I say your last name? I didn't even.
Sarah Dettman.
Sarah Dettman and
2
Miss
T's, 2
Bethany
Carlson.
Carlson.
Yes.
That's easy.
Yeah.
So it just says DET. So I didn't know if it was
I short formed it to make it easier for
a little bit closer.
everybody.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
Sorry. Check
So
1, 2.
make sure it's right in front. Yeah.
Check.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Dettman, Bethany Carlson,
Yes.
San Diego Flippers. Matter of fact, I guess you guys have some projects you're working on right now.
Yes, sir.
What do we have working? What are we working on right now?
We have one in Serra Mesa that's kind of like on a canyon. That's going to be pretty cool, I think. It overlooks the Snapdragon Stadium, the old Qualcomm.
Oh, off the 8.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
We just watched a Coldplay concert from the
Right.
backyard.
I saw you posting a
Yeah,
story
so
about
yeah.
that. So you got a free concert.
Free
They're stealing
concert,
concerts,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
It's a good place.
Matter if you want to come and check out their flip and you're interested in buying, you want to get free concerts, holler at them. Where do they find y'all at?
They can find us on Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
So Sarah.det, Bethany.
Sell your house now on
Sell
Instagram.
your house
That's
now?
the best spot. Yep.
Okay. And right now with your guys' deals, how are you guys getting your deals, if you don't mind me asking?
Mostly through other realtors.
Mhm.
We do email blasts and a lot of networking to
Mhm.
meet other agents. Offers off the MLS.
You
and-
actually make on market offers,
Yep.
and you guys profit from those.
Yeah.
I gotta buy your course.
When it comes out, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah, we've tried on market, we just haven't been successful yet.
Yeah, I think it's just a numbers game.
It's a numbers
Yeah.
game. It's a grind for
definitely, yeah.
sure. It's just kind of.
Yeah.
Where'd you say majority of your deal flow comes from? Was from the real the referrals?
Yeah, realtor relationships definitely.
No.
Yeah, they've got a pocket listing. They know we buy or that we've worked with them before, and they like to work with us. So
Yeah.
those are usually our best deals.
The seller doesn't want to do the whole circus with the on-market thing. So
Right. They don't want to list.
Right. They don't want to have people coming in and out of the house, or they don't want to go through the whole inspection process. They just want to have their money, walk away.
Right.
And they're okay with the fact of, like, we're very open, like, you might be leaving X amount of money on the table, but if you go that route, then you're guaranteed this cash within this amount of time, and then, walk away. Done.
Right. And so then that realtor just gets paid by the seller and you guys pick it up cash.
It depends on how they, like, have it structured to begin with, if they have an actual listing agreement, or if they're going to end up doing some kind of different commission structure through their brokerage.
That's between them.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever get your brokerages involved, or not until you sell?
Sometimes Bethany represents us on the buy side and on the sell side.
Okay. So you're not licensed, or you are?
I am, yeah.
You just don't use it.
No, I mean, we use it, yeah. It's just not something like the go-to.
Right.
I like doing
You don't
numbers.
like that side. Is
So what's your favorite part of doing the, like if you're doing the deals, what do you do particularly? Obviously she does listing, and then you even facilitate transactions, or?
We'll usually list together after the project's finished, and then we have a transaction coordinator that
We have 2.
helps us out. Yeah,
Crystal and Heather, just
Yeah.
in case.
Shout out
out.
Crystal and
Shout out.
Heather. Are they looking for more like people to bring on, or
Like,
are they just your TCs?
oh, no. They're not just RTCs, but they
Oh.
are the best.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
They know all car forms and stuff like that. That's
They're
important to have.
amazing.
Yeah, they're the
They're
best.
really, like, very reliable.
Yeah.
Amazing. Keep us on
So
point.
let's do beginning stories. How'd y'all get into real estate? Let's start with Bethany.
Okay. I'm from Michigan originally.
Okay.
Went to U of M. Go Blue.
All right.
Have to,
It's Wolverines.
have to plug that in somewhere.
Wolverines, right?
Wolverines,
You're
yeah.
like, shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. And it was in college, actually, my senior year. I was living in a house with 5 other girls, and we were each paying, I mean, this was 2010, we were paying like $600 a month rent or something, which at that time in Michigan
Total
was just
or
crazy.
wow.
Each for each of our bedrooms. I was like, this is insane. Where is all this money going? Like, who's making the money off of this? And so that's when the idea of owning property as an investment really clicked for me. But I never knew how to go about getting into it. No one in my family did it, or really invested in that way or had any experience.
How many rooms was this house?
It was only 6. There were 6 of us.
Only 6.
Oh, I guess. Okay.
They got only.
You're right. We live in California.
Was it like a sorority house or just
just a regular college house. I mean,
Cool.
that was, I say only because my house for the previous 2 years was 10 rooms.
That's a mansion.
It's a dorm.
So you're like a rich kid or
like
what?
It was basically a fixer, though. I mean, it was a college
Did you have a
house.
butler too?
Oh, I wish.
10 rooms. Jesus.
We needed
That's
it.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost like a
Is it
dorm.
sorority?
I know. I mean,
That's what
we
he
basically
said.
made our own sorority. So,
That's nice.
Okay.
yeah, it was
Just
fun.
gotta get,
It was-
like-
Off the grid sorority.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess like, hey guys, when this starts getting old, just come. We're the after hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had our own like keg parties and just
10
had a
kegs
great
at
time.
least.
Oh yeah, at least
Sheesh.
1 per person.
You gotta go to Michigan.
This is great.
Okay, so you saw that they were charging $600 per room times
Yes.
5 rooms.
6 rooms.
6 rooms, so it's like what?
36.
Jesus Christ,
can't do math that
6,400 a
fast,
month. So you did the math, and you're like, how? Wow.
Yeah, I mean their
Okay.
mortgage on it was probably $1,000 or something insane.
Easily.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when the idea really clicked for me. But it wasn't until much later that I actually got into it because, like I said, I didn't know anyone in the real estate world and
Right.
didn't really know like what path to go or how to go about any of it. So I had other jobs in the meantime, and then just kind of reverse engineered my way in, and eventually met Sarah, and here we are now.
In Michigan?
Oh no, this isn't. Yeah,
She
once
fast forward
yeah,
quick.
I fast forward. I don't want to, take up the whole.
You gotta
hour
watch the
here.
movie premiering. When's the movie premiere?
What'd you go to
Yeah,
school
you
for?
gotta
If you
hold
mind me
out.
asking.
I went to school for sport management and
Ooh,
kinesiology.
damn.
So,
I wanted to
do that.
yeah,
So like be an
management.
agent.
that crossed my mind at one point. Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I loved sports, and
Yeah.
I figured the
She
management
loves
side.
sports.
Yeah.
What
your
do you do?
favorite
Yeah,
clubs?
you
Do you
took
do
it.
sports?
What sports did what sports did you play?
I played soccer. Well, in high school, soccer, basketball, volleyball,
Okay.
and then I played club soccer at Michigan.
Okay.
And still play recreationally at the YMCA and
Yeah.
Encinitas.
I love
Nice.
soccer, especially
Yeah,
indoor.
Oh
my
yeah, it's
thing.
so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a football guy. I'm a
Uh,
different soccer, I guess.
Football.
yeah.
Football.
Foot-
Americano.
Football
Bye.
Americano.
Okay, wait. So Michigan, okay, renting out rooms. Realize that. Do you own anything near colleges? Have you
no,
considered
I've
doing
considered it.
that? What's stopping you?
Good question.
Finding the right deal.
Yeah,
Told you, it was
finding
just
the
do
right
raw and
deal.
then it goes
it's
from there.
Yeah.
Perfect deal. Waiting for the perfect
Yeah.
deal.
You're gonna be
I-
waiting
Making
forever
it
then.
I mean,
perfect.
so
I was just gonna say. I was
yeah,
thinking
wait
that when I
forever.
said like make the perfect deal.
I think
Yeah.
what's stopping me is where I would buy is back in my hometown in Holland. There's a small liberal arts school there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to buy there. But right now I'm just focusing more on the things that we have going
Mhm.
here in San Diego. So
Okay. Do you go back home a lot?
And avoiding the cold, I guess.
yeah,
too,
avoiding
eh?
the cold.
All those
yeah, I
frozen
don't want
pipes?
the frozen
Yeah.
pipes. Yeah. I go back home like twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
I just got back. I was home last week actually. We surprised my dad for his 70th birthday.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep, shocked him. Showed up he's a big Northwestern football fan, and my brother is a Penn State fan. They were playing each other on Saturday in Chicago. So
In Chicago.
yeah,
Wow.
my mom took my dad to the game, so he knew he was going to the game. But then the whole family showed up and just completely.
So he
blew
didn't
his
go to the
socks off.
game?
No, he did go to the
Oh,
game. Yeah,
okay,
so
he
my
still
mom
went
and
to the
dad
game.
went to the game, and then
Family showed up.
family showed up,
I
and
see.
he was like, yeah, he was floored. He almost started crying.
So
How'd you
That's
guys
cute.
meet?
Through another investment group that we were both
Bird dogging for.
yeah.
you guys were bird dogs?
Mhm.
In a way, yeah,
Dang.
just doing acquisitions, trying to find the deals, and then
So you just find
Bring
somebody
him to
who's
the buyer.
interested and then you get somebody else that closed it, or you guys locked up the contracts yourself? How did that go?
Oh, we're looking at each other to see.
Yeah, I feel like I've been talking the whole time, so
yeah,
I'm
no,
trying to give you
we're
a
just
chance.
You're so sweet.
I tried.
Bird dogging it. So, yeah, I mean, I had just gone out on my own at the time and had left the company that I was working for. So to try and make some more cash quickly, it was bird dogging, I guess, quote unquote, and locking up contracts. And then
Before your license, or you had your license during?
I've had my license for a while. I have my license in Canada, and I've had my license.
Canadian real estate license. Have you bought anything in Canada yet, or?
No, I have no intention to either.
Really?
No.
Why?
No, my parents bought several homes. It's like how I witnessed the whole flipping aspect initially.
So your parents?
Yeah, but we lived in them while they did it.
Were they also like investors, or were
no? They were, good old fashioned, like immigrants. Well, I guess I am too. But we came to Canada when I was a baby, and then my parents rented for a bit, and they had to go through that whole awful dip, I guess, in the late 90s? Yeah. The recession.
It was like a crisis, a financial crisis?
Yeah, one of the recessions. Okay. And, so we lived in some crappy places, and then they finally got their first house, which looking back on it now, they actually got some pretty interesting financing because they didn't have enough money at the time and their credit was crapped out from what had happened. But over those like 5 years, we would just do project after project on each house. And so we built an addition, we built decks, we re-roofed, I stepped on nails. I mean, I was always kind of just like looking over my dad's shoulder and like trying to figure out how he's doing it. And he always was happy to teach me.
In Canada?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was kind of where the fascination in construction and just real estate in general kind of started.
Crazy background.
And then I was back home in Germany because I was back there like 6 months out of the year, like every year until I went to high school.
So are you German?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're German, moved to Canada.
Yeah.
Which part of Canada?
Toronto.
Okay, so Toronto, and then from Toronto, San Diego.
Correct.
You're Michigan, San Diego.
Yes.
Get out of the cold.
Now.
Yes. Yeah. There's a theme.
It sounds like, and then y'all just happen to meet each other. This is like a movie.
Yeah.
Like how
it's our meet cute. Our meet cute.
What's that?
Could be like a chick flick.
What's a meet cute?
It's like an umbrella.
Oh no. No, you didn't.
Before the episode, we looked some interesting words on Urban Dictionary, and we
Don't
found
do
out
it.
what.
Do not
Don't.
do it.
No. Okay, so y'all met. Obviously, you guys are like what? Same brokerage or something?
Correct.
Okay, and you saw her from across the room, and you're like, "Hey, let's be best friends. Let's go do karate in the garage."
Kind of like that, actually. I had that impression, but she did not.
She did.
She did not. She did not. She was very hesitant to speak with me or.
Oh, she threw you off. Tell me more about that, Beth.
She was too friendly. I was like, "You're too nice.
Friendly.
I don't trust this."
Being too nice, red flags.
I walked. Seriously, I guess I walked into the office and. There's like, it was one of those board offices that are like surrounded in glass
like
with
a boardroom.
Yeah, within the office. And so I was doing my own work and she was in this boardroom that's just all glass walls. So I can see her just like making call after call after call after call after call after call, like for
so you're
hours.
a cold caller. High five. Hell yeah. Shout out to anybody that cold calls or door knocks. It's not easy. Delegate to elevate. I heard that somewhere, and I've been trying to live by that.
That's good.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry.
So, no, it's true. But yeah, so I was very impressed. And I thought if someone can be like that adamant and like just continuously just hammer on the phones like that and just hear no over and over and over again and then just keep going at it. I was just very impressed.
Those no's are tough. I have a thing it's called getting negged out. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Another word.
Yeah, this is
Like-
going to be a little bit more appropriate.
Okay.
So negged out is you're taking no's so much that eventually it actually like mentally and physically like takes a toll. Some people can't handle it to the point where they don't like getting on the phones because they don't like being told no, and it like negatively affects them.
Can you just
Wow.
numb it out or just
By
like,
constantly putting in your reps and calling. So like I have my guys, they call, they get screamed at, fuck you, go kill yourself, blah blah blah, click,
Yeah.
and then I call back. And the conversation will end with them apologizing for being rude.
Oh, wow.
I've
Good
seen
job.
that. I've heard some gnarly voicemails too. There's this one guy who was just like, I want you to go get a shovel, dig a hole, crawl in it, and die. Like,
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
absolutely losing
Serious
it.
question though, did you call him back?
No. It wasn't even me who called initially. I just
Oh.
overheard the voicemail and I was like, are you okay? Like, are
No, I
you
would call back.
emotionally okay?
The,
I would call
SMS,
back.
the SMS ones are
That
funny
was
too.
like,
the SMS
no,
blast.
it was
the response you get back. I'm like, oh my
Oh.
god.
It was like stop in caps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
What's the funniest response you've gotten?
From SMS.
What are you wearing?
Really?
What are
Did
you
you
wearing?
send a picture of them?
I sent him my feet.
That's valuable. You can make money off of those pictures.
I've been told. I might have him on there and you guys have no idea.
True.
You're losing money.
Foot model.
Yeah, listen.
Okay, so cold calling, she was extra friendly.
Yeah, so I was new. That was right when I got started in real estate. So it was
Mhm.
at this bigger investment group, and I thought there'd be like some type of training or help or anything, and I was just basically like thrown to the wolves.
Nice, learn to swim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so she came along a little bit later, and I was just like floundering, and she basically just took me under her wings, like,
So you're the
"Come
mentor.
with me every
I
day."
deterred that.
You're the mentor.
I was like, here, this might help because she had questions about some like construction stuff and I love
Ah.
that. So I was like, I gave her like a little budget box that I would like go off of, like a very basic one, because she was trying to wait for one of the contractors to come and give her an estimate so that she could underwrite and write an
Right.
offer. And it was like killing her, like all the like
I
offers
couldn't
that
do
she
what
was
I needed
making.
to
Yeah,
do,
because
Without
they were
knowing exactly
lagging.
what it cost to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
So I was just like, just try doing this. Like if they can't come, then just use this budget box. It's kind
Mhm.
of like based on square footage. Just like
Yeah.
very general, but like at least then she has like something to
And
go
then
off
add a
of.
little extra for miscellaneous.
Right.
Mm.
And then she was like, okay, thank you. And I was like, is there something on my face? Like,
Did I say that? Oh,
yeah, you were very,
sorry.
it was like I was handing you like a bag of poop. Like you were like so
Like disgusted, like
confused.
why are you giving this to
She
me?
was just
I was
confused.
Yeah, because the environment was not like I think
Savage.
at some of those
They're
bigger
cutthroat,
It was
groups.
a
not
sales
friendly.
environment.
It's more. I mean, you're essentially like working with your competitors in the same office. So
Mhm.
like, there's an element of like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like you're on your
competition.
own. Like
Yeah, competition, but like like
super
the
competitive.
opposite of abundance. What's
Scarcity.
scarcity?
Yes,
Yeah, there's
there's
like
a
almost like a bit
scarcity
of a
environment.
scarcity mindset, or like it's just
Right.
competitive and like.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to like know my
Yeah.
secrets. And so when she was
Yeah.
sharing her secrets, I was like, this is
What's the catch? I
Yeah.
would be too.
Right.
yeah.
That makes
And I
sense
was
now.
like, I feel like there's like just live in a world of abundance. Like there's just so much to go around that
It's a mindset
if you
for
have
sure.
this like enclosed mindset and just think like everybody's out to get you, then you're gonna lose out on opportunities to
Mhm.
like work with people, meet with people, and
Facts.
you know, be able to share on like more deals and just grow in general.
That's actually a really good point. Can I also just say too, you guys like compliment each other. I see their stories and they like have these personalities, which is good. It's actually good because it's all you guys have like hella personality and the characteristics that comes out. Where like you get some people are just a little dull, and so you guys almost, and it's ironic because you are like two blonde girls. You guys are like the epitome of like San Diego, even though you're not from
right,
there.
and neither of us surf either.
Yeah, true.
Ew. Yeah, I'm gonna have. Actually, this is over. This is
Sorry
over.
if
Okay,
we
we got
just
the wave right
offended
there.
everyone.
No. It's I surf, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, get out. No, but no, it's cool though because you guys compliment each other and almost like the construction side. You're a hustler and a grinder. That correlates together, and now you guys have this cool little thing that you guys have built over what 3 years, 2 years.
4
Yeah.
years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
Thank
That's
you.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and it kind of just fell into place that way.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't necessarily plan it out, but she's just really strong with like the construction knowledge
Mhm.
and an eye for design and just understanding the operations
Mhm.
of managing a project. and-
Fixing problems.
Yeah.
Would you say
Coming
your
up with
cost for
solutions.
construction's not the usual, like as an investor, because you got your own crew, or
I mean, we have general contractors and they have their own crew.
Okay.
And we have general contractors that we use like over and
Constantly,
over and over again.
yeah.
So, and I think that's a huge thing, like definitely keeping them happy
Busy.
and
And
they
working.
like want to work
Mhm.
with you.
Mhm.
So if other people, if they get busy or something like that, then, you know, they'll still have your back. And
Mhm.
because like, what kind of flipper are you if you don't have somebody to do the actual flipping?
right?
But and I think contractors are a huge piece of the puzzle that a lot of people look over, and I
Mhm.
don't think they get the the credit that they deserve oftentimes. So I think they're again a huge part. And once you get to know them and they get to know you, you get to complete projects quicker, and they'll have less questions the longer you guys work together, and the
Right.
whole thing just kind of becomes more in
Becomes a
sync.
relationship, almost like a family.
It's definitely a relationship that you have. And I mean, it's just like any coworker that you have. If you like them, then you're
Mhm.
gonna be interested in their lives and
Right.
ask them questions and give a shit. Like, can I
Becomes more
swear?
than just them working with you or working for you.
Correct.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
definitely work together because we
Cool.
both benefit. And if I succeed, then they succeed, and it just keeps going that way.
That's a dope mindset.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so you are dialing. She comes up, helps you out in an environment that's scarce,
Yes.
right? We talk a lot about abundance mindset too, like in our crew, because there's a lot of people, they come to us and they want to get started, but they don't have any money, and they're also struggling in life. So it's like, maybe this isn't the right time for you, right?
Yeah.
And so, because we always tell people one of two things: you need to either have the time or the money, or both, right? Like if you don't have time or money, it's probably not going to work for you, right? But I like what you also said with the abundance mindset, because there are a lot of people, even in San Diego till this day, they look at you as competition. But if you looked at me as competition, and I have a whole community of people that I work with, no matter how competitive you are, my community is going to always win against your competition.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree with that, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you repeat the question?
So essentially, let's take where you guys worked, okay? They were all competitive.
Right.
But you guys built a network of people outside of, let's say, the scarcity environment, right? And by having that community, you get the upper hand of these guys inside the office that are probably doing, I mean, where are these guys? Do you know?
I mean, maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be somebody who has another relationship or
Yeah.
hounds them more. And
Yeah.
even if you have, happens so many times, even if you have a better relationship with whoever you're trying to get the deal done with,
Mm-hmm.
that other person has like hounded them or guilted them into some kind of
Mm-hmm.
something like mentally that makes them be like, well, I owed them one, or well,
Yeah.
they called me before you did, or well,
We get like that with
they just,
sellers.
really weird
Yeah.
excuses, and you're just like, bro, that sucks. Like,
yeah,
but
so
you,
you
just,
lost, bro. Just take your L and like keep it
yeah,
moving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like it just.
We have a deal in Florida we bought, and the house was a rental, and the person who was doing the rental was a licensed realtor. So when she found out we had it under contract, she was livid.
Oh.
Mhm.
And so the seller would be calling me saying, oh, she's making me feel guilty, saying why
Mhm.
I didn't go with her. So
Yeah.
like very similar
Yeah.
to what you're saying.
Mhm.
But this lady was taking the side of the tenants who were like really shitty tenants,
Mhm.
like, and she just wanted them gone.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me step in. So we got it under contract. We called the tenants. They start screaming at us. And I don't do screaming very well. I'm like, first of all, lower your tone when you talk to me. I'm not screaming at you.
Lower your tone.
Yeah, very.
Like,
Like
lower your
this.
voice.
First of all, lower your tone when you're talking to me. I'm not screaming at you. He hangs up. So I go to the seller. I'm like, hey, look, we're going to give you your money, but I'm going to take title for right now so I can be the landlord. And then I'm going to be the one handling all this stuff. So then we close, and I
Yeah.
send them this text message with the upside down emoji. And I
You're
go,
like,
hey, guys,
"Hi."
Oh, no.
guess who your new landlord is?
Hi.
Hey, remember
Over
me?
here.
By the way, I'm not going to tolerate any type of disrespect or rudeness. And now you don't have access to me. You have to now deal with my realtor. And the realtor that was involved before was extremely irate, but we had to have a talk with her because she was taking the tenant side, and I had to be like, hey, you have a fiduciary duty to look into the best interest of your client, and it's in your client's best interest to get your tenants out, and you're not doing that. And she went from going to okay. Right?
Yeah.
Don't you love that?
Right?
It's my favorite.
But same thing though. People get guilt when money's involved. You get a lot of greed,
Of course.
and I think that just comes with the territory.
Yeah, you
that's
kinda
not. I don't
just-
think that's just real estate.
Yeah, no,
but-
that is everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could
But
agree.
I have been pleasantly surprised by the community in San Diego.
It's a small world.
It's a
If you know,
small
you know.
world, and like I mentioned earlier, we do go to a lot of events, a lot of investor events, and see a lot of the same people, and have built relationships. And
Right.
it's so fun hanging out with our
Everybody's
competition,
winning.
and everyone
Yeah.
is
Right.
like so excited to hear about each other's successes.
Yeah.
Or if you're struggling with something,
Help
you
out.
can go to them. For,
I even
for
go up to
help,
somebody.
and-
I'm like, "Hey, you got that deal?
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah,
what that was
yeah,
this?
yeah.
How much you get it for?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you did that?
Yeah.
I love the way you turned out, even
Yeah.
though they like missed out on it. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
good
so much
camaraderie.
money around that just. And
Oh,
San
there's so many
Diego's,
deals.
yeah,
Yeah.
and San Diego's like one of these. I've done deals in Texas and Florida, and percentage wise, I mean, you can have a lower percentage of return here and still make, if not the
Six
same, if
figures,
not more
yeah.
money than other states.
Yeah.
So, but I like what you said. Yeah, it is a community amongst like everybody. Everybody knows Henish. You guys know Henish?
Yeah.
So one thing Henish said at either one of the meetups or one time, he was, when you start coming to these, you know who's doing deals and who's trying to do deals, right? So
Yeah. That's, yeah.
it's very true. And so then again, it comes down to the collaboration. So I had somebody who brought me $1 million flip. I don't do $1 million flips. I try to stay on the lower end when it comes to deals out here. So I said, hey, you need to talk to Henish. Henish is the guy. Ended up doing a flip, making 6-figure profits.
Nice.
Yeah.
So-
You never know when you can help somebody out.
Straight up. Well, then he sent me something back.
Exactly.
So, and that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get rid of that whole, hey, compete with me, there's no
Agreed.
competition.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah. What state is your favorite to invest in?
Florida,
Why is that?
because
what part
Florida,
of Florida, though?
Tampa, St.
Up and
Pete.
coming.
Tampa, St.
We did Tampa, St. Pete. So we went out there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we're just like closing deals from hotels and then going and hanging out at the beach.
Partied
We went,
in South
Nice.
Beach. Yeah.
no, we were in Tampa, St. Petersburg.
Oh.
So we were like St. Petersburg. We were partying
Yeah.
with like Chris Jericho and like
Oh, the wrestler
Dave
guy?
Bautista
The-
was at our hotel
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
where
yeah.
else?
There are a few people. I've
That's
never really heard of them, but I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
We
I've
like
never
to
heard
do-
of them, but they're like, how have you not heard
Yeah,
of
they're
them?
like
Well, so
famous.
yeah,
Was it
well,
their spring-
he's
spring
like
break down there?
22,
Oh.
so
The
it makes
baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
he is a baby. So, but it was like a bunch of wrestlers. All right, like it seems like they all go to Tampa, St. Pete.
Hulk Hogan's out there too.
Hulk Hogan lives in
Yeah.
Clearwater. Yeah.
Wrestlers, eh?
Yeah.
So we're at a JW one day, and the bartender was also a licensed realtor, and you guys know Sub 2,
Yeah.
and a Sub 2 student, but she'd never done a deal, and she was like, "Hey, I got this lead. You want to try to close it?" So we get on the phone with them, and I'm like, locked up the contract like pretty much right there at the hotel. Ended up being like a $30K assignment
Nice.
that we all split.
Sick.
So then we went to Puerto Rico for we
Yeah.
went to Puerto Rico for a week.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, and that's the thing. With you have the power of the internet and a cell phone, and you know how to run your numbers. You know how to properly. It's obviously market analysis is like a huge thing.
How do you find that in Florida?
So I spent 2021 and 2022 just traveling. I have family out there as well, but I purposely go to these states to network with people. I'll find the events. I also have people on my social media. Hey, I live in Tampa, St. Pete. Cool, let's go get lunch. Let's chop it up. Then they brought people with them. Next thing you know, you're going to meetups in Florida. So now I have a little community in Florida. I started doing this in Texas. So I have a community in Texas as well. And then I'm from here. So being born and raised, I mean, you know, local.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
pretty much. So it's building the community is like the
It's
like-
the thing. It's the whole thing.
straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
What part of Texas?
Dallas.
Dallas, not Houston. Wait,
I lived in Houston for like 3 months.
what
And-
about Austin?
I have buddies that live in Austin too. I have people in Austin.
Oh.
So we go, it's only like a 2-hour drive from Dallas.
I don't know.
You didn't get
Is
to
it
go,
that
huh?
close?
Never.
Yeah, it's like 2.5
Oh.
hour drive from Dallas south.
Waco.
Yeah, they have the
No.
surf park.
Waco has a surf
It
park?
has
I
like
didn't
a,
know that.
it's
I
a,
didn't know
in,
that.
it's like a,
the simulator. kind of
yeah,
thing?
it's like a sim. It actually
Isn't Oceanside getting one of those?
Yes,
Mhm.
same thing.
Mm.
Nice.
Yep.
All I know of Waco is Chip and Joanna games.
Yeah, Magnolia.
Oh, yeah, they ruined that town supposedly.
Really?
I
That's what
believe
I've
it,
heard. I
yeah.
have
Wait, how?
I have a friend, she bought land out there and wanted to build, and I think she wanted to add units and do Airbnb. That's what it was. Airbnb got regulated.
Because she brought so many people to
It's
come and
become-
check out Waco.
Well, I think
because
they
she
own a
got
lot of the Airbnbs.
popular?
So
Oh.
think about that. You own the town, right?
She owns the town.
I wouldn't say they own the town, but they
But,
have,
like,
there's
basically-
regulation there where they're already in, like, grandfathered in with
Yeah.
their Airbnbs. So somebody coming in,
And they have a lot of influence in general.
and it's still kind of a small town.
Yeah.
Waco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, she sold her land. She didn't want to build on it because she couldn't do Airbnb. But I mean, this lady does all right. She has a house in Winchester. She's got a house in Rosarito. We go to stay at the Rosarito Beach House. That's fun.
Cool.
That's fun.
Baja's, yeah.
Yeah.
We do Baja a lot. But community. So Dallas is where I started. And then from Dallas, I would come back to visit and I'd be like, I'm coming to visit a lot. I might as well just start doing deals here.
Mhm.
And I started actually reaching out to my community or like even like people's lives and was like, hey, what do you think about California market? What are some tips and tricks? And like everybody's response was the same. Don't do California. It's too competitive, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. So,
That's,
but yeah. So if you want to know what a difference is though, percentages, you guys can buy at a higher percentage here and still make a decent profit margin than in Texas. You got to have a lower profit margin to be able to try to make
Yeah.
a decent profit.
But your
off.
entry level is lower, right?
It is.
So when you're analyzing deals, do you look at the percentage that return that you're going to make, or do you look
Typically.
at the net profit?
I do percentages because it helps with better margins. So my first deal I did, we bought it for 70, sold it for 80, 10% profit margin off of a 300K ARV. We contracted it for 175
How quickly?
a week.
Oh.
Assigned it for 205, closed in a week. That was my first deal.
Nice.
And then you get kind of hooked once the wire hits.
Yes.
Mhm.
Once you
With
see
wire-
the money.
it's real.
This is
Okay.
Real
nice.
estate roller
Yeah.
coaster.
Yeah,
Man.
just like we were talking about your private investors. Once you make the money, like you got any more?
Yeah.
They're like fiends,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
drug addicts,
Yeah.
straight up.
Yeah.
Got any more of those deals? So have you guys only done San Diego?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm asking because we can get access to Michigan.
That would be cool.
Can we?
Ooh.
Yeah,
do it.
fuck yeah, we can just pull a
do it.
list.
It's cold.
There we go.
I'm trying to buy. I would mind.
Still
So
cold.
there's some towns
Winter
where
is
it's military and colleges that kind of build the economy. I feel like that part of
Like
Michigan
San
might
Diego
be like,
almost.
yeah. Well, they have 3 bases here.
Uh-huh.
So there's Abilene. You heard of Abilene, Texas?
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
It used to be super small town, but it has 3 private colleges. So if it's private, what does that tell you?
Money.
Yep. And it's got an Air Force base.
All my friends out there right now. The
See?
Air Force, yeah.
Mm.
So that economy right there is kind of like Oceanside. Oceanside's economy was built based off the Marine base,
Yeah.
right? So if you
Yeah.
look at the economics of things, number one, if you rent out to military, it's like guaranteed rent, almost like
Mhm.
Section 8.
Mhm.
Yeah.
College students, not so sure, but if it's like private
Rich
college
daddies.
students,
Yeah. If it's their parents that
Trust
are
funds.
co-signing the lease.
yeah, take that rent all day.
Yeah.
Maybe rent out a room for 600. They're probably
Yeah,
going for more
probably-
now.
yeah. For sure.
College rooms are expensive. San
Oh.
Marcos, there's a huge demand. Well, I used to go to Cal State, and I see all like the newsletters, people's stories. I need a room now.
Didn't
now.
they just build out like a whole bunch of
I think there's
buildings
still-
for them and stuff? Like
I think there's a shortage
4
of
years
building
ago
though.
or so?
Yeah, it's like a shortage. So each room was going for like
Shoot.
800, 900, little room
It's
this
crazy.
big.
I say that because Michigan's probably got a really low entry as well.
Yeah. It
Some
depends on
parts,
the
I think.
city.
Okay, so what are we talking numbers wise?
So, like in my hometown, the cheapest property you could probably get is like 200,000. 200,000.
The
That's
cheapest.
That's a
Yeah.
low entry point.
How do we
Well,
get a
yeah,
10
that's
how do we
low.
get a 10 bedroom
But
house?
no, that would be like 2 or 3 bedrooms,
Okay.
and then rent would probably be like 1,500 a month.
That's not bad
So,
for
yeah,
long
it's-
term.
Yeah, but then other areas.
There's
I mean,
parts
you'd
of
be looking
Detroit
at
where it's like
fi-
30,000.
Yeah,
Parts of
parts of
what?
Detroit are
Parts
like
of Detroit.
5,000, but then
Yeah,
like
not
suburbs
even
of,
three.
suburbs of Detroit might be
We'll
like
pay you to take this house from
Right?
us.
No,
Yeah.
that's how some of the listings came across. I was
Yeah.
like, what happened here?
They have a what did RJ talk about? And I think Rich had to go through it as well. They have this I forgot what it's called, but you have to fix it up to a certain amount before you can even resell it.
Really?
in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit Land Bank.
Yeah, Land Bank, I think it is,
Yeah.
something like that. Like like the city is very involved in some of those like really inexpensive houses where
Mhm.
there's certain requirements that you have to meet.
Yeah, before you can even resell it,
Mm-hmm.
or
Didn't know
the
that.
people buy houses for like $5,000. They don't have the other $5,000 to fix it.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I just heard there's a town in Michigan that's offering like an extra $20,000 to help people put a down payment on the house because they want more people in that town.
Oh,
What do you guys know about creative finance?
Depends. I mean, I love creative financing. I think it's a great option that is often overlooked. And
Yeah,
I mean, it's also hard to learn about because it's not
Oh, yeah.
spoken about a lot. I mean, even hard money, people are like, what?
what? Yeah.
So,
I mean, and y'all use hard money for your flips, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what are we talking, like 1.5% origination, 10% interest only in California on like $1 million properties?
yeah, it hurts.
Ugh.
It hurts. Yeah,
Doesn't feel good.
So negotiating a term where you're saying, hey, I'll give you a little bit more money than these cash offers, but you got to give me my terms. That's a win-win.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to have the right seller and you want to ensure that they have enough equity in the house. Of
course.
If not, they own it outright. But
Yeah.
yeah, subject
But-
tos and seller carrybacks, I think, are
Have you done a
something that
subject to
everybody
yet?
should know about. I have executed on them in like the previous company that I worked on. So yeah, I've written up the documentation and
Cool.
made sure that stuff got paid on time and all
So
that
you
great
were the
stuff.
servicing company also?
No,
Oh,
was not. This is so what happened was the subject to with the bank didn't know,
of course.
right? So
Or they get a due on sale clause.
we just got a copy of the statement from the seller of the bank,
I see.
and then I hand it to the accounting department and make sure that it gets paid on time. And
I
they
see.
don't typically ask
Where the money comes
where the
from.
money's coming from as long as it gets paid on time.
So you've never had to call, or not you maybe, but your company has never had to call the bank and like ask questions or?
No, we never did that.
Oh.
We never did that.
So
we
have letters of authorization that allow us to call if we need to. Hey, I'm calling on the behalf of this loan.
Well, if the loan doesn't allow, I mean, typically if the loan doesn't allow for it to just get transferred over, we just take over for a
we're
certain
not
amount
telling
of
them.
time.
We didn't say, hey, we transferred this loan over
Oh.
in our name. We just say, hey, we're taking care of this loan.
Right.
There's a letter of authorization that's been sent.
Yeah.
And then once they get the approval,
And that's never bit you guys in the ass before?
not once.
Really?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, knock on wood.
No.
Yeah, since we're not doing this, we were never doing it over a long period of
Mhm.
time. It was typically like no longer than 12 months.
hmm
And then
Right.
we pay it all off once we flip and sell it. So
My favorite creative deal was we did $40K down and 0% off the balance of the loan for 12-month balloon.
yeah, it's great.
So then we just were paying down the balance
Yep.
while fixing the house up.
0 interest. Amazing.
And you've done the documents for those?
Well, we have someone else draw it
Oh,
up.
I see.
We don't draw them up ourselves. We just, during escrow, we'll just
Yeah.
have it sent out and then they sign off on all of it. But
You guys
In
ever
the
shot those terms
contract.
to your realtors before?
Yeah, we've proposed terms like that.
What do they say?
It's tricky because a lot of realtors don't understand it
Right.
or are hesitant to try to relay that to their client.
Right.
we tried
Okay,
to do
so-
that on a
There's-
deal.
Yeah,
but the guy was trying to avoid capital gains and he owned the house outright. So we said,
Perfect example.
let's do, we'll give you X amount of money right now. So you avoid
Yeah.
capital gains this year.
Uh-huh.
And then, we'll pay you interest for whatever, since he owns it outright, over the next 12 months. And then we won't resell the house
Mhm.
until the following year. And then that'll fall into, the next tax
And they
bracket.
said yes?
It's personality
The
based.
realtor
Quirky.
killed the deal.
It's a personality
You
based.
don't wanna say it, but I will.
We're still getting the deal.
Okay, but on
Well,
the hard money.
It's a personality
Throwing
based
that in
kind of
universe.
thing. So I think some people are either like they don't. It's like too out there, or they don't trust it, or
Anything-
it sounds too
people
good
fear
to be
what
true.
they don't know.
Right. And if it's not something that's mainstream and this is the first time they're hearing about it, it's like, when you're buying something, off some website that seems really sketch.
Wish.
Right? And you don't know what you're going to get.
Offer.
And you're like, this seems too good to be true. And then you buy it and you're like, I thought it was going to be way bigger than this. That's what she said. But like,
Deal.
you know what I mean? So I think it can be a hard sell depending on the personality that you're working with.
Right. So if you were to tell anybody, right, let's say the realtors that you've talked to in the past that have been brought to these, because they get it all the time. And the thing is, we get a lot of realtors, they know everything.
Right.
I've been doing this for 15 years and we're a broker.
I love that line. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Great. And you've never done this type of transaction? Oh.
Yeah.
I like to say,
Yeah.
When I go,
Not condescending whatsoever.
Little. I can get petty sometimes when they get irritated with them, but I don't have patience for I just don't have patience for certain things.
You scare me. You're like, don't take that tone with me.
Please lower your voice.
Please lower your voice.
It's when it's calming is when it's like the most, when you're not having to. But what would you tell somebody that is maybe just unsure about how this works and, I don't know if I want to do that because I don't understand it? What would you say to them?
Typically, I try and figure out what kind of personality they have. Are they more analytical or are they more just like, what's the end result? And is this going to work out better for me? I feel like the harder times, it's a little bit more difficult when they're analytical because they really want to wrap their brains around it. So let's come up with a cool little picture or, draw it out like you see on the TikToks when they're explaining something new to you on a whiteboard, that kind of thing. Or just say, this is going to save you money. It's going to save me money. It's a win-win. The transaction's going to go through escrow and title still. So
it's safe.
It's safe. There's a third neutral party that's going to be overseeing the whole thing, and you're going to make out on top, and you're still going to get everything that you want, and then some. Does that sound good to you?
And then they'll either be like, yes, or I don't know. I got to talk to the seller.
Exactly.
Something.
And then you just kind of go from there, and depending, again, how their brain works.
Have you ever asked to talk to the seller?
We have, but not the direct. Well, typically the agent would be there.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'd directly to, and I say that because you hit it nail on the head. They want to relay the message, and it usually doesn't get relayed the way
correct
you do.
Broken telephone.
Straight up. And I hate playing the game of telephone because it's never the answer that was in the very beginning.
Agreed.
Right? So getting them, hey, you know what? Let's get on the phone with the seller, because I think if I explain it to you and you explain it to your seller, they're not going to want to do it. Versus let me get on the phone with your seller and try to explain it to them.
It might sound a little bit more sketch coming from the realtor because they don't really know what they're.
Especially new ones that are like, he's probably going to try to steal my listing.
Yeah. And they want 0% down.
Yeah, that's tough.
So those are my favorite 0%. They're hard to come by, but
they are. I've seen only 3.
Just bought a triplex in Oceanside, 0 down. And we raised capital, so we walked away with money at closing.
Sick.
Wow, that's amazing.
Congrats.
Creative REI, baby.
Yeah, so how is that
awesome.
one structured?
We took over a 3.12%. Principal and interest with taxes and insurance is $3,900. I convinced them to take the difference of that payment and 5% principal and interest only, which was $5,234. So they're walking away with $1,300 a month that they make on interest over 30 years. And we take on their unpermitted units, which you guys were telling me about with Vista, and now I'm dreading tearing down the drywall. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so we just actually submitted stuff with the, that's why I was asking y'all questions when we were talking earlier, because I was like, and then you're like, the whole foundation's off, and I'm like, I've already heard this with mine.
There's nothing that can't be fixed.
Right. And so it's just more of I'm hearing the experience, so I'm like, all right, this is what I should get ready for.
Well, it'll be fine.
I mean, it's, yeah.
Get in good with the city. Find somebody.
They already like us because the previous sellers, they weren't working with us very well.
Okay.
Or they weren't working, the sellers previously weren't working with them very well, and we are, and they see that we're doing something now. So they're super stoked about it.
That's awesome. No,
was
that is
it a
good.
code violation?
It was 2 units built without permits.
So but that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're attached, not detached. And our architect says that we could put one more on there.
Nice.
After you remediate the current
That's the
issues?
goal, yeah.
Or are you going to try and do it all at one time and submit plans for everything?
What do you recommend? Because you've gone through this probably more than I have.
It depends. I couldn't say for sure, depending on like your whole scenario and like how in depth like these two units are that are stuck together and how like how much in the red,
So
I
it's
guess,
like,
quote unquote, are you right now?
we're actually cash flowing $2,500 a month.
Yes, but you're in trouble with the city right now, right? Because of the way that the building is constructed.
We have a deadline to submit.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been meeting the deadline, and if we need an extension, they're willing to give it to us.
What's wrong exactly?
Nothing, just no permits. I mean, the house looks structurally sound, but they're trying to say, according to the inspector, that the units are a liability. They weren't built properly, and they need to be redone. From what we were told by the seller, they need to be torn down and rebuilt.
Right. But is that what the city's saying?
No.
Okay.
So we're submitting the plans with the way that they are now.
Yeah.
And seeing what they say. And then based off what they say, we're probably going to end up having to pull back drywall.
Uh-huh.
And then that's where we're at. So right now we're submitting with the city.
Did you get an engineer in?
Engineer already came to the property 3 weeks ago.
What about plumber or electrician?
Haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
Just so you're gonna wait for them to
see what
answer
they say
back. Okay. You're not like under time or anything like that. So it's fine.
We're cash flowing. So because the minute
you're not in a rush.
Yeah, because the minute we have to start doing work, we have to get a tenant out. Yeah,
exactly. Okay,
straight up.
Then I mean, keep doing it like that because they're probably going to ask you to get plumbing and electric.
I think that's why we got it for a good deal because of all the problems, and they didn't want to deal with it. We're like, all right, well, we'll give you the cash flow, but we need the terms that we want.
Right.
And we gave them more than any other cash offer.
Right. Well, I mean, taking on those kinds of violations is a lot of work, and I don't think that those can typically get conventional financing anyways. So they would have had to go to a cash buyer.
I didn't think about that.
Choice, yeah.
Are you holding most of your deals? Or are you flipping?
So in today's market, I'm not flipping at all, just because the way that the interest rates are. I've seen people buy, and then when they bought thinking ARV was this, a month later it's dropped down 10 to 20%. And so we're very transactional. So the closest thing we're doing to flipping is novations with rehab. You guys familiar with novations?
I think you were touching on that earlier.
Yeah.
It's for you guys as realtors, it's like net listings.
With renovation included.
Pretty much. But we're securing. There is a realtor who just lost $10K in a house that's not selling, and the lady has like lien after lien after lien. So most of the liens are going to eat up what her house is worth.
I definitely would have looked into those liens before dropping $10K.
Totally.
Right. And so he didn't secure his $10K.
So he doesn't have any paperwork or anything?
No, he's got to get that.
Is he new?
I have no idea. I just was told this by another realtor and heard that, and I was like, he didn't have any paper. Nope. So we get paperwork before we spend a dime.
I mean, you learn and you learn.
10K is not even that.
And you lose.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter though. It's 10K.
Expensive lesson.
Yeah, money's money. No matter how.
Well, so we've been hearing a lot of people taking 100K losses on their flips.
Yeah.
Recently.
You guys taking a loss yet?
We take time.
So time loss, that's about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, in my head, that equates to money loss too.
Right.
So
what are some things in your business that you think you probably could work on as far as maybe the time factor?
The time factor?
So like right now, I think you feel like you don't have time.
There's never enough time.
Okay, so what would you do to try to get more of that? Or is there something?
It's a good question. What could I do to get more time?
Yeah.
But have a better sleep schedule for sure. Because I sucks.
Yeah, like insomnia or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get like bouts of it.
We have this girl in here that owns a health and wellness company. She does these CBD gummies.
Blue Mist.
Yeah, I've tried that CBD. Maybe it's a different kind of CBD. I don't know.
It's like a sleep. It's almost like
She said CBD.
It's like melatonin, but not melatonin.
With CBN.
Okay.
Like
melatonin does the opposite to me.
Makes you stay awake.
Yeah.
That's what.
You tried coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee does work.
Helps you sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like anything that like gives me, it's supposed to give you energy, kind of just like.
You're wired different.
I am wired very different. And anytime I speak to people about their experiences, especially with like helping in those kinds of areas, they seem to do the complete opposite to me. And I've had very bad experiences with trying to take, melatonin or like something over the table that, or like, some new like multimedia marketing thing that's like, hey, try and take this for my, and I'm always
multi-level, you mean?
Yeah.
Multi-level marketing?
Right. And I'm open to it.
What are those companies? What are the name of some
Pyramid
of those?
schemes. Oh,
There's
I mean, they are what they aren't.
Don't offend anybody. There's like
what's the one? It starts with an A.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Arbonne.
Arbonne is one. There's another one though.
They do have really good stuff though.
The products are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they are like vetted and they have really good ingredients. So I am open to it, but they either like make me sleep for 3 days, and that's definitely not productive.
So the health and wellness girl said that melatonin is really bad for you.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah. What okay, so did you say your sleep schedule is what allows you to not have enough time, or?
I think it just impacts my productivity.
I can agree with that.
When I'm having like a bout of restless sleep.
Yeah.
Bethany's like laughing.
There's
like an inside joke.
She's laughing. No, she's laughing because she's trying to contain her anger because she knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there have been
very
times that I
frustrating to her.
physically had to like go to her house and shake her awake because I'm like, why are you not answering your phone?
Yeah, my dog has like learned to like wake me up and tell me when to go to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Is there a particular reason, or is it just because you have your mind going a million miles a minute? Like, what would be the reason?
Stress factor too.
You think it's stress?
If I knew exactly what it was, I think I would have it better under control but as far as I know, I've been dealing with this since I was 13 years old. Like before I even knew that it was a problem, I like think back now and I'm like, I was taking Gravel, which is like the Canadian version of Dramamine, because I got car sick a lot. And I would take that before, and I think when I was like 13, just because I knew it made me drowsy. And I was just like, I need to go to sleep. Yeah, it's like that. So I was like, I just knew that I needed to go to sleep, and like I wasn't allowed to leave my room. So I was like, well, you know, the motion sickness pills that my mom gives me like make me, you know, kind of tired. So I would like take half of a pill and then I'd go pass out. But I'm like, I've been dealing with this issue for that long, and I just, you know, at the time I was just like, if I don't go to sleep, I'll get in trouble. So
yeah. Well, so okay, so business wise though, what's your business model look like? You guys part of a brokerage, obviously, or you guys are the broker? Okay, so you're Big Block Realty.
Yeah.
Do you guys have guys that work for you other than like your construction team?
Yeah, no, I would say.
So it's just y'all making the calls and doing everything?
Unless you contract it out, but nobody's been like long term.
Would you guys be open to like some internships to do the calls for you, or some?
Yeah, like who locks up the deals? Y'all do?
Yeah, both of us.
Okay.
I mean, I spend more time on like the acquisition side, and she spends more time on the operations, project management.
She's stabilizing and doing project management type stuff, and then you're getting the deals.
Yeah.
Dope.
I mean, could always use more deals, but
we got some.
Yeah, send them over.
We have more leads than we can handle right now.
Sweet.
Well,
let's go for it.
Let's do it.
People are talking about this like low inventory. I don't think they're counting off markets.
Oh no, yeah, no.
But I'm sure you experience this, that where people are like, oh my gosh, I love what you're doing. I think it's so cool. Like, how do you do that? And they want to chit chat, and I'm always open to it. Yeah, grab a coffee, pick your brain.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, you're more than welcome to like come swing by and like cold call or like do this or do that, or like just come show up every day. Like, that's literally what Bethany did. I said, come, you are coming with me every day at 10 o'clock and you're coming with me everywhere, and you're going to learn everything that I know. And there was no guaranteed pay there like whatsoever. And she did it every day.
She saw the vision though.
It sounds like what you did too.
Yeah, like a value exchange for your time and get some knowledge.
The issues, you get some people that pick your brain and get coffee and then waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I was just talking to this with my boys. It's called I can't say it right. Reciprocity. Reciprocity.
Yeah.
Where a lot of times you're doing stuff obviously you're not doing it for any gain, or you feel like sometimes you might be wasting your time, but it's the energy that comes back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. I think even if they end up pursuing like other things, then who's to say that like that person isn't going to be grateful for the fact that, you know, I took time out of my day to like answer all their questions and offer them some insight and stuff. And
how often do people reach out?
I would say fairly regularly, like, I don't know, at least weekly.
Opportunities that you've gotten from people that reach out, you guys created any yet, or are we still working on it?
opportunities in what?
From the people that have reached out.
You know, I would say, yeah, there's been like a lot of like good things that have come out of it where they either refer us to
Mhm.
other ways that we can save
Mhm.
money, whether it be through construction or
Mhm.
like adding a new person to like our book of business
Mhm.
or, you know, connecting us with another agent that like can provide a lead or something that we can chase down. Or I can't think of one like explicitly, but I definitely know there's scenarios all the time. Like it might not always even seem fruitful like right out the gate, but those things always end up kind of, like you said, the energy that you're putting out is going to
Right.
come back in some kind of way.
What about
shape, or
capital?
form.
You guys raise
Well, I
capital
was
yet?
just gonna say too. I think sometimes in those situations, people will reach out because they think they want to flip properties, and then
Mhm.
after further conversation
Right.
and understanding everything that goes into it, they actually might be more interested in being one of our private investors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or a different aspect.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
There's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
some
that's-
opportunity that could be made. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great
I was going to ask. I was waiting to hear that.
that's
I'm
a
like,
great
yeah, we raise
example.
capital. I'm like, they're
Yeah.
not saying capital. I'm like, you guys raise capital? And she's like, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug.
That's
Yeah,
literally
like
what
this
they do.
money they is that even allowed to advertise it like that?
They're like-
Well, no. I mean, we all the time people reach out. Hey, I got 50, 60K. Can I do
Mhm.
something with it? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure. Let's see what deals we got.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we have a deal we're closing on, and it's a 1031 exchange, and the seller does not know anything about sub 2. And so I've been sending him. He's like, I'm like, where do you want? He's like, I want SoCal, Vegas. What do you say?
Nashville and Phoenix.
I don't know if he really wants Nashville or Phoenix.
So you're gonna help this seller
You tell him what he wants.
that you're buying from buy
We
his
bought his
outleg sub
property.
2?
We bought his property. We're very big on transparency. So we're like, we're gonna do innovation. You're gonna get your money. We're gonna get the difference. We actually didn't make very much money on this. It was like maybe $3,000. But the relationship built with the seller
Mm-hmm.
is, I think, most valuable part.
Mhm.
So now he's like wanting to take, what was it, like 375?
Yeah.
He's got 375, and I think he just sold another house for another 400 that he has access to. And I'm like, well, you're looking to buy 1 or 2 houses in SoCal, but I can get you on sub 2. You just pay these down payments, and now you just go from 1 to 2 houses to like 5 to 6
That's amazing.
cash
Mhm.
flowing.
Mhm.
Wow.
So he
Here's
was
my
like,
best friend.
Yeah,
he's just creating value wherever you can. Professional problem solver,
yeah.
I love that.
creative REI.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, what else? Is there anything else? You guys have anything you want to plug in, or?
Plug in.
I mean, we're always looking for deals. Always looking
Mhm.
for capital.
The plug
The
in.
plug-
I didn't know what's plug in.
That's
I'm like,
She's
plug it in.
constantly
That's
learning new
very-
words.
English
I
is our
know.
second language.
This girl has a running
German.
list.
Do you know how to speak German?
Yeah, she's got a running list of just like stupid things that I
Sarah is
say.
a-
Sarah's
There have been a
words.
couple
She's my
through- I
English
don't know if you guys
teacher.
have noticed.
So you just like translate.
Yeah. I'm like,
She
she
does.
means this.
She does do that.
And you got any questions?
Are you guys mostly looking at like luxury flips, or like what kind of flips do you guys specialize on?
We don't like to put ourselves in a box, really. We like to really just look, analyze, underwrite it. 'Cause, I mean, if we're pretty good at like asking each other what our opinions are, and like sometimes she'll see something that I don't, and vice versa. And you never know how something's being marketed. It could be actually a gold mine or something
So
that
if
real's turning out.
if somebody were to be like, "Hey, what's your buy box?" This is what I like to say: a deal.
Yeah, that's what you
Yeah.
say. If
Do
it
the
makes
numbers
money,
make sense?
Yeah, if it's a deal, it'll
Yeah,
make sense. Yeah,
exactly.
So you're just looking for deals, San Diego only.
At this time, yeah,
Okay.
primarily. I mean, we've talked about going out of state as well, but
I'm open.
What's your favorite? Yeah, after hearing this, huh?
No, I'm just looking. We are. I
You
mean,
guys
you
are-
literally talked about Michigan, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, so here's the thing: you
I'd
guys are
say-
in one little tiny market where everybody knows everybody,
yeah.
and I feel like if you're able to expand, you're opening yourself up to way more opportunity than the people that are just buying right
Right.
here have.
And
Mhm.
travel.
yeah.
The
Puerto
traveling
Rico.
part is fun.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
like, and then we turn that into content too. That's fun.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I
like-
mean, when you talk about time, like that to me seems like how do you have the time to have this big operation going in 3 different
Yeah.
states? Like,
We'd actually run lean. We have like 5. There's like only 5 of us, and then the rest is our community.
makes sense.
We have a lot of friends of
Helps
ours.
a lot.
that's good.
What's
Mhm.
your typical day look like during the week?
Wake up. We
do like 5 a.m. 6
You guys
a.m.
wake up together?
Yeah,
Pretty
I'm like,
much.
hey, what are you
guys
wearing
live
today?
together?
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, you did like
We
kind of an
hold hands and
opposite.
swing when we
Oh,
walk
that's
to like
cute.
meetups.
We're both-
They're
like
skip at the
us.
yeah, you're the boy version of it.
So-
So you skip when you're holding
Yeah.
hands.
He doesn't like this, but we're Batman and Robin. He's like, why do I gotta be Robin? No, but you know what though? He's there's some strengths that he has that I'm not very like systems and process. That's his thing. He's been building these systems, and now we've been implementing them. And so between that, having a community, and then we're actually bringing on a couple acquisitions, and then we're working on the dispo side, but we're really doing dispo and then project managing. So most of my stuff is like on the phone, but we wake up
Dispo.
early. And then we did a challenge last month, 100 miles in a month to run. And so we did, I think he did like 106, I did 103.
Nice.
And then from there, we just get the days started. And so whenever
Wait,
I
by
am,
what time? You just ran.
Whenever.
You just said like
Like
20
from 5 to
things.
6
that-
a.m.
yeah,
till, like-
sometimes late. Sometimes we won't start till noon because the beginning of the day is self-care.
Self-care.
We're very big on what's the point of having all this
What's
money?
self-care?
Self-care.
You like
For
brush
me,
your
like
hair,
The bath.
Go to
brush
the
your-
gym,
surfing.
Himalayan salt
surf,
bath.
surfing.
Yeah, I'm actually in like the ocean salt.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah, but
even
it's
better.
for me it's the ocean. It's
Okay.
like my like
in the
we'll call it
mornings.
prayer meditation, gym, run, whatever you want to call
Tan
it.
laundry.
Yeah.
Got it.
I haven't slicked my hair back
Yeah.
with the hairspray.
I love it.
And then whenever we do work, we work from home. And I don't know, do you have your monitors still? I
I
got
have,
triple
yeah.
monitors.
Do you
so
guys
we're working.
are you guys
monitors.
both on Zoom like at the same time
Yeah.
and you guys are working together on
We'll
Zoom?
be
all the
running
time?
it from Zoom, or we have our VAs run Zoom because we have 2 VAs. They do like just admin stuff for us, or they'll do follow-ups for us, or they'll, hey, I need a contract. I'm on the phone with the seller. I need a contract right now. So they'll fill out our contract.
Are your admins local or are you
No,
hiring
they're
them
VAs
across
from the
seas?
Philippines.
Yeah.
Y'all
Okay.
need some, let me know. We get them just $6.50 an hour.
Nice.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Did you have a hard time onboarding them? What was that
No,
like?
so I have a VA that I've worked with for 3 years.
Wow.
And my way that I work with them is not the usual investors. I take care of my VAs, and so because
So
of
like
that,
bonuses?
yeah,
Louis bags?
yeah, team.
The
Like I
Filipino
made them do
Louis
team
bags.
meetings and like make sure
Presents.
team meetings and make sure you guys are like FaceTiming you that you guys are all together. No, but no, yeah, we do bonuses, and like they, $6.50 an hour is a lot of money out there.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's actually a lot. They make more than doctors.
What?
Wow.
That's insane.
That is
So
insane.
the one I've been with for 3 years, she's kind of just does recruiting and skip tracing.
Recruiting.
She recruits our callers.
It's like a brokerage almost.
Yeah, she's like her own little. It's almost like her own little business. She doesn't work for me. She works with me,
Uh-huh.
and that's how a lot of people are. They work with me, not for me.
Uh-huh.
But she does recruiting. So hey, I need 2 new people. This person, I just watched them on the screen. They're screwing around for like, wasting up my time. I get rid of them and bring me something new, somebody new. She also does our skip tracing for us, and then from there she hires our callers, and we have our callers do a lot of stuff.
What's your turnover like?
It's not
If
very.
you have a recruiter like
yeah.
full time.
She's not recruiting full time. She makes. I think she charges us $6.50, and I think she charges. She gives them $5,
Mm.
and I think she just keeps the difference. That's how she gets her money.
Oh. Okay.
And then she does that with other investors. So
Interesting.
like if you guys were to hire her for the $6.50, she would make the extra $1, I think, off of you guys as well.
Does that have to be full time?
No, you
There's part-time
whatever.
too.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
choose. You're the boss.
Oh yeah, you have,
Well,
like-
some because we've looked into it before
Yeah.
and they had like minimum hour requirements. Like,
Oh really?
yeah.
Well, that was one company though.
We
But
almost
they do
wanted to
have,
do
like-
salary. We almost did salary, like guarantee you a certain pay.
Mhm.
But the recruiter was like, you kind of want to keep them busy because
Yeah.
if not, they'll start slacking.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
That's
all
what I
right,
heard
we'll
too.
just do the hourly thing and keep them busy. So
Mhm.
they work from 10 to 6 now
They do 10 to 6 and Saturdays 11 to 4.
for cold calling.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's running in the
And do they
background.
kind of just open the door for you guys and get you
Yeah.
like
They
on
just-
another
Yeah,
call,
I
a
don't-
scheduled call?
I started off cold calling like her, and I don't know about you, but I get tired of cold calling.
Yeah.
Right? So you get to a point where you just delegate it out and then let that run on its own. When you get somebody good, okay, I'll jump on the phone. I'll go back and listen to calls because I like coaching.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to calls and be like, oh, he fucked this call up. So I'll call them like, hey, I just want to let you know he was training. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll turn into a deal.
Oh, that's
now
cool.
you're saving me time
Yeah.
from having to be on the phone all day cold calling.
So they open the door basically,
Absolutely.
and they'll like get you on another scheduled call or make an appointment or something to that
Yep.
effect. Okay.
Or we have acquisitions do it. If acquisitions can't close, I will.
Got it.
Mhm.
So your day is self-care and then lunch and work at around 12.
I don't even eat lunch.
no
Sometimes we won't
lunch.
eat
No
until
lunch.
like
Do you
2 or
do
3.
Coffee and
breakfast?
like a muffin. That's
Like
it.
my breakfast is at like 2 o'clock, but it's breakfast.
Okay, there you go.
I gotta have eggs. I'm weird like
and then
that.
what time do you go to bed at?
That depends.
On?
Yeah, like Fridays and weekends, like
We'll go to bed early, wake up at 5, and then we'll be texting each other 11 at night with like ideas, masterminding via
Mhm.
text message.
That's cool.
Are you sure you're not like together? Like
no.
Yes,
yeah, every
no,
every
We
answer
actually-
is we.
We
like-
both got because we're like partners.
Yeah,
so
no, it's great.
no, we both have girlfriends.
This is bad.
I love how they need to disclose.
Yeah,
Must
because she's like, are
disclose.
y'all like not together?
We're
I'm
too
like,
in
yeah.
love.
So,
We're
yeah.
too in love. Must
And then
disclose.
we wake up and then we go surfing and then
We have routines, and the
then
routine
we
is
go
really
to
big.
bed and-
Mhm.
Yeah,
No,
and,
that's good. It
and
just-
we're very consistent because that routine is going to be like what builds your stuff up. And so for us, it's staying consistent in your routine is why we're getting the results that we're getting and
Yeah,
the traction that
for
we're
sure.
getting. We did do a little bit of traveling and kind of like screwing around for a little bit.
I think
But
it
we
opened
still
our,
got
I feel
shit
like you
done.
need that.
it
That's like
opened our eye
self-care.
a lot though.
I
Like,
find my best ideas on vacation.
yeah.
Yeah, when you're just you turn
you
your brain off
decompress.
in a way
Yeah,
and then
you're
it-
giving a
comes to you.
chance for your brain to breathe.
Yeah.
and
Because we
let
will
more.
we'll start at like maybe 12 and go until 8 sometimes. It
Yeah.
just depends what
Yeah.
we're working on. We have
You
like
get into something.
Well, we have a lot of stuff going on. So we're not just we're actively doing, like right now we got what? Barton,
I think we have like 5 or
Dallas.
6 deals right now.
5 or 6 projects that we're currently
Are
working
they
on.
San Diego or like
No.
all
No,
3 states?
everywhere.
It's San Diego, SoCal, because we do Inland Empire also.
Mm.
So SoCal, Texas, Florida.
Mm. So yeah, all 3 states.
Mhm.
Then
cool.
Alabama.
We're starting by
Alabama.
Section 8 in Alabama because you can buy a house for less than $100K and it'll rent out
Yeah.
for about $1,300.
Mhm.
nice.
You guys want to invest?
Yeah.
Closed.
Sell it, sell it, sell it.
Okay,
We have a lot of
s-
short-term acronyms.
So we
Just
are
so-
wrapping up with time. I
Yeah.
appreciate having you on. I think it's dope.
It's
You
dope.
guys have, and you're making fun of us, but you guys are pretty much the same thing. You
Not
guys are your own
even.
little
I find it. I'm gonna totally use dispo all the time.
dispos, dispositions. Yeah,
Right. What's acquisition? Aqua.
just
Axe.
axe.
Axe?
Yeah.
Axe.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Axe and
But-
dispo.
I mean, there's actually kind of a relationship involved with partnerships. Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah.
So are you guys like an item or?
People
Full
have-
disclosure, we have significant others as well
Yeah, I'm
that are not
pretty
each other.
People have asked.
I know.
No,
it's
we
really
don't.
hard. I'm
Yeah.
like, no. Or I'll be like, you can't wear that. It's gonna like
Make
no.
it's gonna show
It's gonna-
relationship.
Yeah,
vibes.
it's gonna be like, I'm like, take that leather jacket off. This is like
So our personality online, people follow it. So like we talk trash running, right? So I'll be like, hey, I'm beating you, and then he'll talk
Yeah.
trash running. Or we had a video where I was working out. We were working out in
On Newport.
yeah, no, was it Newport? It was Florida.
I don't know.
And he like kicked a medicine ball on me while I was getting up. So it's
Mhm.
like we kind of like almost like
Yeah.
pranking.
It's like trolling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we troll each other,
Troll
but
each
people
other.
like watching
Oh,
that
they
shit.
love it. Yeah,
They're
I
like-
do that to her all the time. One of my videos that got the most views is when she's wearing like
Oh,
this
yeah.
blue shorts
Oh,
jumpsuit.
gosh.
It's like bright blue. And she looks like
I
a
had to
flight
wear it.
attendant,
I was
so
like-
or newscaster or something. So I just get my phone out. I'm like, tell us about your outfit today.
But I was just like being like, we were just like, this is just like us going
That-
on our way to a
That's
meeting.
good
and
though.
she's
You're
just
giving
like,
them the raw.
yeah,
That's that, and a lot of people
True.
are so scared about their image, right?
Right.
But the way we like to look at it is what you see is what you get,
Yeah,
yeah.
and people appreciate that as like for what it is.
I mean, I
Mhm,
think
agree.
I think so, but I don't really know any other way either. So
No, keep doing it. I think the personality thing's dope, and people are gonna follow that, and they're gonna adapt. They almost like follow you along with you guys, like you have your own show.
Yeah.
Almost like an influencer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys kind of are.
Oh.
But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap up today. Thank you
let's
guys
go.
for watching. If you guys want to follow them, give them the handle one more time.
sell your house now.
At Sarah.debt.
Debt like DEBT.
Debt like DETT.
Okay,
It's half
at-
my last name.
There you
not
go,
my full
guys,
name.
and we are out. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.